to get my... I'll try to get on the other Skype and see if we can get it working.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have started the stream.
Hello and welcome to the... I'm not the host.
This is the first time I've been a stream host. I'm not sure if I have the ability to be one, but we're trying it. We're going. We're doing it live.
Do it live.
Do it live. I do, however, only have one monitor as of right now, so I'm not going to be able to do scores and stuff like that as well as I should. We are going to be seeing a Yoshi Falls pick from Team Nordic.
I'm going to just have to try every... This is going to be the strangest thing I've ever done.
Well, this is certainly not a standard World Cup by any sense of the word. We are getting a first track Grumble Volcano from TK64 himself. Nordic is decently confident on this track from what I remember. So this could really go either way. I'm not sure how the spots are for it, but... Barney is in second, Barney being one of the more capable racers on Nordic's team.
Let us just remember that Grumble Volcano was TK's pick.
Yes.
So... If
Nordic currently
are
are top three. Barney with triple greens in second place. Fox in front of him. Lots of... I do believe it is... Hawk and Claw are the two baggers in the room. Nordic still holding that top three. There is a blooper into the face of Barney. That's not going to do too well for him. Lots of people taking cut, including Killua, TK64, and other American players, putting them in more of the top spots. Barney has a red shell in 7th place, which is not going to be able to do too much for him, as I do believe Arceus backbombed, which was not the most sensical move from my perspective, but I do see a bomb snipe from either Arceus or TK64. Barney is now in 4th place with a single shroom, looking to take the lava cut, while there are a lot of USA players in front of him, both of them taking the shortcut along with Ruby, who ends up bumping him, but he makes the shortcut just fine anyway. He's now in 3rd place behind the aforementioned TK64 and Arceus, but he ends up passing the latter of the two. Nordic now with 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5, but Killua is looking to try and defuse that type of situation. A red shell goes towards TK64, but it's not going to be able to quite catch him in time. Barney not opting to go for the box as he is in 2nd place, and leaving it for his teammates to get mushrooms to take the cut may be more optimal of a strategy. He ends up getting a single banana, not much happens for him. He does get a single
banana. Let's see what he can get, if it's going to be able to maybe hit someone when they're taking the cut. Doesn't look like he's getting anything really useful here. Blue shell, but it's a bit too late. Unable to connect with anyone.
It does look like Nordic did end up with a what looked like a top 2, but I could be completely wrong.
We're just going to have to wait as we have a ultimate bagging war.
Tom, is it possible for you to get scores and relay them to me?
I can try.
That is a top 2-5 race.
That is going to be a 5, 12, 24, 39 to 34 in favor of Nordic.
It's definitely the kind of first race that they would like to see.
Yeah, if I'm not sure you can see, but I have had to put like 4 different Skype accounts in this chat or something at this point to try getting one to work.
Lots and lots of technical difficulties trying to get this stream to work just to cast this match to you lovely people of the internet. Moonview Highway and Dry Ruins are the picks right now. Dry Ruins from America, I do believe they're looking for some good shroom spots for their lower positions.
Some good shrooms.
Yeah. Not confident in what 3 and 4 would be able to do in terms of front running. Nordic does take a rather nice first race. We do see a bit of waiting from Barney trying to get a good golden or similar item to take some kind of shortcut. But the star does end up in play, and that would be an excellent pull. He does get hit by the green.
Let's see if he can get a decent chain, because he clearly wanted to use the star. Going to be a golden, might be able to take the ultra going into the start of lap 2.
The golden is a really good chain for him. Not as good as the star would have been. Well, unless his team doesn't end up getting shocked. But as of right now, golden does end up looking like a good chain for this early in the match. Or this early in the race, rather. He does go for the ultra shortcut, opting for the one shroom startup instead of spamming it like many people have been known to do. And goes right into these boxes, gets the 4th place chain, and ends up with a single shroom. He was hoping for the triple shrooms, I could feel it, but it just didn't quite happen for him. Nordic in 2-3-4 behind Derek, and Killua trailing them. Yeah, Killua does have the triple greens around him, and there is a POW. Lots of opportunities for chaos to happen and knock Team Nordic out of this comfortable 2-3-4, but none of them end up working as they maintain their spots.
You do have to remember, though, there is someone trying to take the ultra. Looks like they get hit, but yeah, this could be comfortable for Nordic. At least the 2-3. Derek might be able to hold on to first place as well.
And Killua coming up in a mega, trying to smush anybody and everybody in his path. Doesn't appear to work out too well, and somebody slightly behind is a thundercloud. That could mean a lot. As it vanishes from existence, I don't think it ended up meaning too much. But USA now has 1-3-5, reading Barney to get 1-3-4. But it looks like Arceus ran into a little bit of a problem.
Let's see, can Barney get the shroom he needs? He looks like he may be able to...
but how much difference would it make? He gets 5th, and...
Gets 5th, passes Kuzan at least.
Almost went horribly. Didn't go amazingly, but it almost went horribly. Nordic barely clutching onto this race. Nordic not wanting to be the people to give up a race this early in the war. They took the lead and they really want to keep it. Ooh, but that is still an amazing race from Team USA.
That's going to be a... Oh my god, my throat is dying on me. 41-32 in favor of the USA. That's going to leave them with a 75-71 overall. Yeah, for some reason my throat was on a bit of a go there, but I'm sure my throat will clear itself up.
Dry Ruins was an excellent track pick from USA. It really capitalized on the spots that they had. We're going to need to see a similar track pick from Nordic if they want to be able to come back to the lead that they once had. They're going for Peach Gardens, another shroom strat, while USA is adamant on Toad's Factory. We're going to see how this one plays out. Except TK64. TK64 seems to be opting for DK Summit instead, thinking it to be the superior choice. We're going to have to see. Starting off on Peach Gardens. Nordic definitely in worse spots for front running, but they are going to be able to pull some nice shrooms, hopefully. But apparently, the only real person able to pull shrooms was Barney, and he pulls the triple, hoping to stay in front for most of the race with those shrooms. But as it does appear to be more of a bagging war, the shock may be able to knock them out of him. Nordic and USA going forward now to avoid getting overlapped, but somebody gets hit. I do believe that is Hawk.
And we're going to be seeing if Barney can hold on to his shrooms to take the shortcut here. We can see Kuzan right behind him. Doesn't look like Kuzan's going to be able to red him or anything in the cut.
He is challenging him a lot, though.
Yeah.
Holding the shroom first.
Kuzan had some shrooms as well, so if anything goes wrong for Barney, then Kuzan could come up with a very easy first.
Yeah. There's a lot of aggression coming from the USA side, and even if there's any form of blue shell thrown at Barney, Kuzan would be able to overtake him. An incredibly close race. Fox now overtaking Kuzan. No sign of where he disappeared to. We're looking at a top 2 for Team Nordic and a shroom in first for Barney. Barney may go wide. Nope, he's going tight. He's not holding the shroom for the blue shell. Either his team has it or he's just really hoping that the shroom cut he had will be enough of a lead to negate any blue shell type of thing. The baggers are dangerously close to the runners, as there is some serious chance of overlap happening. There is a blue shell,
There's a blue. That's not gone well for Barney, and
on the pow right after.
Killer's going to overtake. Maybe Kuzan's going to overtake. We can see a Kane also.
A lot of top
one
spots.
Of the overtakers.
A lot
Ruby
of top spots for
overtaking.
USA right now. But the triple shrooms that brought him into first may not be able to bring him all the way back up. It does look like he's going to finish off with a 9th place.
9th, not the best of results from what could have been a much better race.
As the results come up here, we are going to see a very good race for USA, if memory serves.
Does memory serve, though, is the biggest question in the land. Does memory serve?
Oh, Nordic ended up getting the 2-3, leaving USA with 1-4-5.
Don't think that's going to be enough to save their race, though, unfortunately. I believe that's a 35-38 race. Let me quickly re-add that. 12, 22, 28, 26, 28, 26. 32, 35. Yeah, 35-38, which is going to, if I'm not mistaken, leave the score at 113-106.
Still a close match. Surprisingly
It is still close, and I mean, this is the thing though. Some people wanted to try counting Nordic out of it all when predictions were happening, saying like, "Oh, Nordic aren't going to be able to succeed." But this is one challenge for the USA, and we can see Nordic are holding on.
Nordic has a quite talented squad. I'm not sure why anybody would count them out. They appear to be proving themselves repeatedly during this group stage, and we're going to have to see how well they'll be able to carry themselves in the semifinals. But we are getting into Coupe Cape here. I do believe this was a Nordic track pick, as USA was in first and 4-5. Waits for the item box. Same with Ruby. Golden is an excellent first pull. This would be able to take him decently up there. He passes through the grass and does go through the other shroom cut. Okay, Nordic now 2-3, but USA is still the powerful 1-4-5, able to have most of the control. Ruby and Barney looking incredibly vulnerable right now to backspam and reds.
And we can see that... Barney! Not the best of moments for Barney. And the power's not going to help him either, as he doesn't even get a trick off of the ramps. Does manage to try going for a box, though. Triple reds aren't going to be able to help him when Keon's in front of him.
He's trying to shelag Arceus, but it's not looking like it's going to do too much for him. TK dead stops in the middle of the track, and he gets the Shroomba out of the red shell, which is... I'm not sure how I feel about this blooper. What is he going to be able to do?
The almighty blooper.
The back green was ridiculous. It almost didn't work, but he wanted the item box. He does get the POW in 9th. People... Barney is not getting very well liked by the game at this moment in time. He does end up using
target power few into the zappers. It certainly target powered TK.
TK has completely vanished, but at the same time is right back in the race. He gets the golden. He's not going to use it for waterfall. He's saving it for the golden strat, probably. Unless there is an early shock here and he doesn't want to advance too far up so he gets a good item. There is a star used behind him. And there's the shock.
Oh, I was going to say, Barney, if there wasn't a shock, could have taken the golden strap because it does save quite a lot of time on this track, but unfortunately not for Barney.
His golden strat hopes were unfortunately cut short by that shock, and he is able to pull another one right after. So he's going to take this little red shell cut here and golden through the waterfall section. Well, it doesn't do incredibly much.
From what we see, though, Nordic are in bottom spots.
Yeah, this does look like to be a good race for USA on Nordic's own pick.
And the blooper is not the best of items. Barney to pull.
Barney's really not having a good
item
race. He's not having much of an item war at all. But yeah, this is quite a good moment for America as they have won on Nordic's own track pick. Their hope to get back in it ends up turning into them getting a lot more out of it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes track picks work like that, and I'm sure the USA may have a few where they pick a track they think is going to go well, and Nordic actually winning that race, so you're eating your shoe.
Me.
You're definitely eating a shoe there.
Nordic ends up winning the GP, it looks like.
39 to 34. That's going to be a win for... No, that's going to be a win for the USA team by 2.
By 2, GP. Yeah, I thought so.
I'm going to quickly run and try and get a drink while we wait, because my throat is dying. So
wait, Tom, what were the final results for that race?
Final results for that race, 34 to 39, so 147 to 145.
Okay. Lots of close matches today. Some that I wouldn't even expect to be close. Like Germany, UK ended up being way closer than I could have ever thought. Along with, what was it? Italy versus Benelux ended up being rather close for most of it. So all in all, it's been an excellent day for Mario Kart Weekland matches, and Fox is starting the room right back up. We're getting back into the swing of things and seeing just where this Nordic USA match may be going. Now, as Fox is in first place, I'd imagine Nordic also has some other pretty good spots in room, so they should be going for tracks like maybe Wario's Gold Mine to front run on, and other things like that. Yeah, they do have top 3 in room. It appears that they're going for... They're not sure. Time's running out. Yoshi Falls. I'm actually not entirely sure what Yoshi Falls will be able to do for Nordic. Definitely a track for a lot more chaos to happen on. Shock not quite as overpowered as it is on Ghost Valley 2. But still definitely a track where almost anything can happen. One golden can mean a lot, and good stream usage is pivotal. Will it end up even choosing Yoshi Falls? Yes, it does. Barely. Mario Circuit 3 and Bowser Castle 3 would be equally interesting picks. But Yoshi Falls looking to be one of the more ridiculous out of the possible choices. Barney and Fox both opting to go for the waterfall instead of the first set of items. A wise decision since they are both in the top spots, and holding on to whatever front run they can is incredibly good. However, they do get bumped, and it has unfortunate repercussions for what their race is looking like. However, good item boxes are definitely in play at this point. Green Shell almost smart bounces right into him as he goes for the waterfall again instead of going for the item set, hoping to not get too taken away by his backwards breakaway. Pulls the star, think he's going... Nope, he's going to hold it in case of the shock. Claw is definitely bagging. No overlap is very interesting on tracks this short because there isn't much of a time you can spend bagging with them. Kion does have the Thundercloud. He stops to give it to Barney. Barney changes his star and ends up getting a Mega Mushroom He's not going to chain it, though. I think he is going to wait for a starter note to use it to be able to dodge the last-second bolt, which does not end up coming. Interesting race for both squads. I do believe America came out on top. However, there are a couple question marks on the Nordic team that I lost track of throughout the race. Yeah, Nordic ends up getting 146, which is a... That is a 37 to... That is a 37 to 36 race for Team USA. Barely doing any change. Incredibly close war. Incredibly. Well, Tom, you didn't miss an incredible amount.
I didn't miss anything.
You missed one Yoshi Falls race where the point differential was 1 point.
Oh!
It was a +1 race for USA.
Okay, let me quickly add that up onto the count just for you.
I added it already, don't worry.
I know, but I do have a Google Docs open just in case we get our math wrong in our heads.
True. That was a 37 to 36 race for America.
Okay. And we are seeing Toad's Factory, which I'm presuming USA got first.
Yeah, USA got 146.
Okay, so yeah, that was not maybe Noctil getting the draft.
And Barney also getting the draft on Noctil, but it's not going to be enough for him to pass in front. Nordic does have a little bit of a front run happening, but there's not too much potential for that. The pack is still incredibly tight.
The pack is, in fact, a lot tighter than you would normally expect, because on this kind of track, people get bumped off on the ground.
Noctil either just got bumped off or barely didn't make a right alignment for Shroomless.
It looks like someone in 10th also managed to fail it, so that's a big issue.
I do believe that was a shock spam. I think that was a shock spam from Hawk to not get overlapped because it was looking dangerously close. Claw getting actually flattened by the Stomper after shock.
Maybe strategic to, if it looks like Claw is near being overlapped, maybe just let him grab a box. And,
I think we have been seeing a little bit of slowdown from Fox, and Barney, to make sure that he doesn't get overlapped and they do get to keep their bagger.
Yeah, because it's vital that he doesn't, because this track does have a shock spot, and if he can get a box right now and he gets lucky, then that could be good for them, especially now that they've just had this issue where Barney has been hit very heavily out of first place, back down to 7th.
Yeah, I'm not trusting Nordic's luck after Barney gets blued and then greened right after. A single shroom in 7th, the luck continues to peter out. He does get the 8th place chain and gets a blue shell, but his team is still in first. He's going to have to hold this for a good amount of time. I'm not even sure he's going to be able to use this properly.
I don't think he will, no.
He's going to use it. Hopefully, there it is. I don't think it's going to be able to hit anybody, though. He does end up with 7th. There are two of the Nordic people, though, up there in the top spots. We could be seeing a 1-3 or a top 2, or maybe even a 1-4.
We'll have to wait as we have the bagger war. But neither of the baggers got lapped, so...
Yeah, barely. It was looking very close.
I mean, sometimes it's worth the risk.
And there is a top 2 from Nordic. Fox and Kyon end up getting first and second, but USA gets all of the meat and potato spots.
Yeah, and that's going to mean that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 37 to 36 for Nordic. So That's a
Wait.
that's a cancel race.
Nice.
So that's going to be a 220 to 218.
Oh. What an absolute nail biter of a war we have so far. Unbelievable.
It's almost as close as 0-0.
Almost. And there's not much that you can get to be closer than that. USA going for the Bowser Castle 3 when it looks like Nordic is opting more for Moonview Highway. USA definitely very strong on Bowser Castle 3, and they are going to get that pick. They're looking to break away from a very, very close 2-point lead after 6. Somehow within 6 races of play, they've only made 2 points of progress, but they're looking to change it.
I'm sure they will, and hopefully BC3 might be able to benefit a few of these players, because it is a very high-end room, so we don't expect people to be failing the cut really badly.
People may even take Ultra Cut in this room with the level of skill that's in here. There are a couple people that are known to be rather consistent at that cut.
We've seen a few Ultras already in this tournament by a few of the lower skilled teams, so...
It looks like Derek attempt it and make it.
Barney's going to be making the regular shortcut.
Yeah. With a golden, though, so it almost is better. He passes Arceus, and he slips into first. Very close run with Derek, and he barely misses the green snipe. Derek does wait to get out of first to try and red him, but the red goes right past Barney. And the second red hits the wall, proving why Bowser Castle 3 reds are not to be trusted. Single banana in first. It looks like he's going to try and schlag and maybe even block the shortcut. He pulls a fib. He might just try and spam it and hit Derek in the face, which he does. Fox ends up taking the shortcut along with TK64. Noctil ends up taking the shortcut with TK64 and Kuzan. Killua barely passes Barney and immediately gets redded. Triple Green's going up on the straightaway, trying to hit either of the people in front, not quite working. He goes for the backspam, and TK64 drops a shroom.
Good drop, and double red.
Getting a pair of triple reds. Oh, Fox bumping him magically with the 2 reds around him, not getting hit by either. Barney pulls a mega lap 3, which could be a lot. No idea if the shock's in play. Neither of the baggers have been overlapped. It looks like he uses his mega to unblock the shortcut for his team. One of the baggers
has just been overlapped. We can see them right near where the Ultra would be done. It's Claw, in fact, getting overlapped there. So, Nordic can't have the shock.
And it looks like they might need it in order to get some of these top spots.
Yeah, and Keon doesn't want the TC. That's not for the win.
It may be for the win with this draft. Not quite.
No.
If he'd passed it off, it may have been. It almost was. And there's the shock. USA looking to get the bonus point. And by bonus point, I mean the 11th place point.
The 11th place point.
Yeah.
The official name of the bagging point. The 11th place point.
The 11th place point. The Bills right past him, and it's going to be there.
Not a great race for Nordic.
That ends up being a
29. So that's going to be 40, fancy
44.
That. That's a 44 to 29 race. So the USA are pulling away, and that is going to be 264 to 247. But again, we said after a few of the races that it looked like Nordic were going to be losing by a bit, and they've
just been pulling it right back every time they've been down, so I have faith in them to be able to pull this one right as back as it has been before. Not sure which track to pick. Barney cycles through his options, hoping one jumps out at him. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the luxury.
No luxury of a track literally jumping at him. Looks like he's taking
Opting
a fancy to MC3.
And it appears that USA has taken Nordic's former track pick of Moonview Highway, trying to get a good front run off. We're going to have to see how well they can do. And it does end up being Moonview Highway. We'll see how the test of time goes. Nordic is in first place, if I remember properly. USA may be looking to bump them out. This is definitely the track to knock somebody out at first with all of the cars and havoc that occur early game.
It definitely is. And, I mean, laggy bomb cars is another thing that can happen, so...
That milk truck.
That milk truck. I mean, quite a few of the players should honestly know all of the patterns of the cars, so there shouldn't be too many mistakes from this room.
But at the same time, lag is always a factor.
Yeah, lag is always going to be a case.
And with the huge ocean in between them, you never know how stable the room is going to be. There haven't been any disconnections as of yet, but I'm not adverse to saying that there would be a decent amount of teleportation in certain situations, at least for certain players. 2 shrooms in 7th place. He's going to try and use them very conservatively in the car section. Oh, and the bomb car respawns in his face. And he almost gets the glitch where he standstills through the moving truck, but he doesn't quite get it.
No, not quite.
Misses the item box in 9th place. Fox is behind him, but USA right in front of them. So I do believe there are some Nordic players up in the top spots. At
Golden
least as low
won't
as like
be helping
3rd.
him that much, though.
Yeah, Golden is not much of an item on this track. It doesn't give too much help at all. There is the shock.
That
USA,
looks like
I
American
do believe,
shock.
dodged. Yeah. Nordic, both having shrooms in their lower spots. Oh, look at all of the Nordic players back here. Arceus and Kuzan in the lower of the American spots, but there is still Kion in one of the upper spots there.
Barney gets the TC off of Arceus. That's not going to help him, and that Golden won't be enough.
Oh, it's not enough of a boost to get him back up to him. Fox, Ruby, and Barney occupying 3 of the lowest non-bagger spots. It's not looking like a good race for Nordic. Will they be able to pull it back at next GP?
Maybe. Remember, though, looking at the group table, which we don't have on this new host because we had to rush this, the USA still has to play Canada. And if Nordic only loses by a little bit, which they might do in this war, then Canada still has the chance to cause an upset on Team USA.
Canada definitely looking rather strong this year. Stronger than I remember them looking in years past.
I mean, there's always going to be a question, though, of, like, why is this player not playing? And I think Jas is one of them that's not registered. Canadian Joel not registered. There's a few other names that I would call out on the Canadian team that aren't registered, but that race for the US is going to be
47 to 26.
47 to 26, yeah. And if I can get the score, that's going to be 311 to 273. So down 38, I believe.
Yeah, that is down 38. Hopefully it's not down and out, though, because I know Nordic is able to pull this back if they really get the tracks that they need, and maybe Barney's item luck improves a little bit more. They do seem to be hopping right back into this war. Fox has been a great host, as there haven't been many disconnections at all or problems of the like.
Let's see if there's any comments currently in the chat. Quite a few people going for a USA win, but saying that they want to see a Nordic win. I mean, it's still possible. We've seen Nordic come back, and it could be turned around in a matter of 1 or 2 races, and they have 4 to try and save themselves.
Maple Treeway looks to be the track of choice from Nordic. But I'm not exactly sure how Maple Treeway would be able to benefit them. Maybe cannon dodging? But they are in the upper spots. Well, I guess we're going to have to see. I'm not 100% on the stats of how good America is versus how good Nordic is. But if memory serves, Nordic might be a little bit weaker on this track than America. But at the same time, Foxes seem to be doing very well at most of the time trials of all of the tracks. So we're going to have to see how well his lines actually fare on this one. Nordic 1-3, Kuzan in the middle. Ooh. Fox almost looking like he drifted off. Top 3 for Nordic, and spots looking like they should schlag Ruby in 4th. Maybe Barney's going to slow down a bit to try and schlag the people behind him, but at the same time there doesn't appear to be any sign of that happening. All 3 of his bananas seem to disappear. Maybe somebody hit them.
I believe that will be the case, but at this point we might be seeing some cannon dodges maybe coming out.
There is a blue shell that travels through the cannon that is going to hit Nordic, and Arceus is going up, trying to break this Nordic top spots, trying to maintain a little bit of a safer ground before they walk into the next match with Canada. Definitely a tight group.
Very tight group. I think this was meant to be like the group of death, I guess we could have called it in MKWC, because the other group seemed to be a bit easier with, no offense to Italy and Benelux, but they weren't really expected to go in and win anything.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this group had Latin America as their seeded for like the 4th tier, and they had Australia for the 5th tier, which was pretty surprising. But we do see a shock going on.
Yeah. Shock appears to be, I'm going to go with American, because there were more Americans in the cannon at that point in time, and we are seeing more players from Nordic in the back spots now.
I mean, Barney could maybe make his way up with a good item or two, but I think 1st, 2nd, and maybe even 3rd are a bit too far away from him.
Mm-hmm. Definitely looking like a mostly decided race, but that leaf pile item was intense. We are going to see him blow all the way up to 4th place. Top 2 for Nordic. This could mean a lot in terms of getting it back, but that banana absolutely killing it. Nordic has a really good race, and this could put things back in jeopardy for America. They're not safe just yet.
We'll have to very quickly look at the results once they do show up, but definitely possibility for an upset to be caused today.
But yeah, a lot of excellent plays going on, keeping Nordic in this.
That's a very good race for Nordic, in fact. That's going to be 34, 39, 42, 43, so 30 to 43.
Ooh.
And that's going to give it a 341 to 316. Gonna have to see a track pick choice from Barney very soon. Looks like he might be hovering over N64 Bowser Castle. That's what he's gonna pick.
Lots of SNES Mario Circuit 3 picks happening. I think America's looking to cause a little bit more chaos. Maybe get down on Nordic's morale a little bit more. Playing more of the psychological game. That, or they may have way more faith in their item luck. but it looks like Bowser's Castle is going to be it. Are we going to see any interesting bump strategies from Nordic's front lines? We're going to have to see.
We're going to have to see, but I mean, Nordic only down 25. 25, 3 races. Can it happen? I believe so.
I think it can happen. There's definitely potential.
I'm sure there are people with a dream. We just saw the UK come back from a like minus 40.
Yeah, the UK was down by a lot and they were able to pull it back. Very even race for both teams. Honestly, anything could put this in either direction. Triple Shrooms, one of the things that could push this either way. It looks like Kuzan got redded off. Oh no, it was lag. But he does end up getting redded. Nordic taking a little bit more strength, a little bit more of a stride. 1-3-4, at least. Kion and Fox known to be pretty strong on this track. But also some of the American players are known to be rather experienced at this type of track as well. Excellent schlag from Derek, trying to keep Barney at bay. Now what could this POW... he fails the POW dodge. It did look like, what's it called? It did look like an American POW as the gap between Derek
American POW.
What? It looked like the gap between Derek
and
Kion closed considerable.
It just sounded like a weird thing. It just sounded a bit strange, but we are going to be seeing Barney with his shroom. Should be able to... Okay, not getting a chain, because it looks as if Kuzan got every single box in the set.
Definitely one of the more promising strategies to keep your opponents behind you by making sure they don't get any of the item cubes.
Item cubes.
The ninth place box ends up yielding him a golden. He could be taking the infamous Sager golden strat. And he does opt for it. But the red shell catches him right in the face. What a back green. I think that did actually come from Arceus. Excellent. Excellent back red. Albeit a little bit haphazard, a little bit random. I'm not sure you can calculate that kind of thing. What he can do with these shrooms, he could take grass, but he might just try and shroom past people on bridge and bump them up with his increased weight. He tried to get Arceus off. It barely didn't work. We are going to see somebody from a star trying to do similar bumping maneuvers, although it's not looking very well. A semi-risky player on the fire pillar, and that Thundercloud might be able to let him pass some people. Oh, the fib on the line! Nordic players in a little bit of a pickle. We're going to see how this race ends up turning out. Incredibly close finishes. Look at that pack.
I know, and I mean...
They all managed to be between the first turn and the second turn by the time the race was over, which is ridiculous. I do think both baggers got overlapped, as neither of them are currently moving.
Yeah, that does indicate that an overlap did take place, which would be why a lot of the pack was so close.
USA with the top 2-4.
Screenshot. Oh no.
Ooh.
Okay, screen share didn't really work in my favour there, so I'm going to have to quickly add up by taking a print screen of the whole results. So, says it was copied to clipboard, but I'm not getting any. It's not giving me it.
Why don't you check the actual stream itself? I know that's going to be a couple seconds behind.
If I can load it. On my net.
Crossed.
No, I'm too slow. You're too slow.
Mario Circuit 3 return pick from Team Nordic. Maybe there's more strategy to that level than once thought. USA going for Bowser's Castle. As they do appear to be in more of the top spots, they are trying to break away.
Okay, so let me very quickly add what I believe to be the scores. Yeah, that was a 41 to that would be 41 to 32 race for USA. 382 to 348. But we do see BCW coming out and TC
Coming out
already
in full force.
TC already being pulled.
This track's been a little bit notorious for throwing out TCs today.
Maybe Bowser's deciding to be a bit evil.
He always has.
Always has these tendencies to give them TCs.
No, he's always been evil. Oh, the accidental red on his teammate. A little bit of a poor communication from Team Nordic. USA taking full advantage of that and going into top 3.
Hopefully Barney can make the most of this shroom, or just use it there.
He uses it a little early because the blooper is not going to be dodged. He gets back greened because
Needed
of the
that
blooper.
tactical blooper dodge.
Ends up getting triple shrooms. Maybe he will be able to dodge future bloopers. Who knows? Nordic now all up in this 5-6-3-4 that I said rather weirdly for some reason.
I know for a fact that Team United Kingdom are making guesses on who's going to win by what in the chat. So, in the...
Oh!
Barney, what is that?
I think he wasn't expecting to cling to the wall as much as he did.
The end, it doesn't even matter.
Ooh, that leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
Just thought I'd give you a bit of an in the end.
Let me see some Bible thumps in the chat for that. That was pretty sad.
Some Bible thumps are required, but Barney is going to be using those shrooms. Might want to get a Bam Diggy Doge.
Hopefully catching up. He's really pining for something. Golden's not horrible.
Not receiving a Bam Diggy Doge, and I'm not sure what one of the baggers was doing by sitting there. Maybe they got lapped a bit early, but we didn't see maybe, but...
No overlap. Definitely adding a lot to this game. Definitely changing a lot of how baggers work.
That was Claw that was...
Yeah, Claw has been overlapped. America still has their bagger in play, and the shock was just played. Barney takes Kion's TC. There's not much he can do about it. Doesn't look like Nordic's going to be able to get the race they're quite hoping for.
Maybe they can pray for a 10th place shock. It's not happening.
It doesn't even pull an item box. It's not going to be too hopeful. As that does look to be... BCW.
In finishing the race.
BCW with one of the latest finish lines.
I mean, Nordic still came back from that.
You know what? I think they'll take a 1-3.
I think they'll take a 39 to 34 race, yeah. And that's going to leave it so that it's 416 to 387. 29's probably a bit too much to think that they'd recover, but I'm sure some will dream that they get like top 5.
It's definitely not out of the picture. This isn't already a decided war.
All you need is a Peach Beach.
It looks like they're opting instead for the DK's Jungle Park. Oh, whoa.
No!
A surprise disconnection? Did only Barney DC, or was it the whole room?
From what we see, probably the whole room.
Yeah, I saw TK64 also disconnected. Oh.
Are we seeing a cheeky Magic Cruiser strat coming out last race?
Are we seeing... Oh, wow.
Are we?
Are we seeing Magic Cruisers come out of nowhere? Likely not, but we can still dream. If people can dream for a Nordic top 5, we can dream for Magic Cruisers.
I think dreaming's not really out of the question, because I don't think any of them legitimately DC'd there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that disconnection. That seemed rather out of the blue.
That was a bit suspicious last race. Last race, they needed top 5. And they just DC'd when I don't think anyone actually DC'd. So, room just suspiciously crashed.
We're going to have to see how that happened a bit later. Maybe get some valuable input on that from players in the war. But that did seem... Oh, Barney getting rejected from the room.
The room didn't want Barney.
I'm not sure the room wanted anybody. I think that's what happened. The room just decided it didn't want anybody in it. Nordic still with top 3, despite the fact Claw is their bagger.
Definitely looks like Fox booted himself from the room. I'm not sure if anyone actually did DC, but from my opinion, it looks as if Fox kicked himself. So, maybe not.
I mean, they hadn't used either of their resets yet.
Maybe they need to use another.
Maybe they wanted to use a reset for Magic Cruisers. Or maybe Spears. You never know. They might just pull out all Spears and go Luge. That would be a magical finish. However, in all seriousness, we're likely going to see a little bit more standard of a track selection from Team Nordic.
I don't think so.
Maybe not one from Team USA. Maybe USA now has the opportunity to try and pull some shenanigans.
Do you know what I want? I want to see Sherbetland Magic Cruiser strat. Come on, Nordic.
You want to see a 5v5?
Come on, Nordic.
A 5v5 with bagging Magic Cruiser on Sherbetland?
Yeah, let's not.
You know what, though? Magic Cruiser Toadette might not be a horrible strategy for the baggers to use. Because it would be, what's it called? It would leave them out a little bit slower on the offset. But if they manage to continue racing for most of it, then they'd be able to stay decently ahead of the pack. Looking like some decently even spots in the room. So we know it wasn't quite a reset for proper room placement. Though I'm not entirely sure how that differed from the original outcome of the race beforehand. Oh, we're seeing a couple drops from room, Claw being one of them.
Come on.
So what do we have going on after this? I imagine we're having a little bit of a break from Mario Kart Wii as we've just had 2 matches in a row. So is it Mario Kart 8 coming up then?
I believe they're already casting Canada-France.
Ooh.
Or that might be in a few minutes. I think they said it was 8 minutes a few minutes ago, but...
Ooh. Well then, after this race, hopefully we should be able to get you some Mario Kart 8 Canada vs. France. That would be quite a match to see. That is looking like all 12 in room. I think we are going to get back underway. Maybe Fox wants to wait a little bit more to try and get a more stable room. But we are going to be getting started rather shortly. Now's your last chance for some USA or NDC wins in the chat. Get them up there. Show your support. Show which team you want to win. Personally, I'm not allowed to have an opinion, but if I were, I'd like to see Nordic pull this back to be a little bit closer than it is right now.
Okay, hopefully room stability is what we're waiting on here.
Yeah. Because we do have everybody in room, it appears. I don't see any out-of-place me's. I'm not seeing...
Flo Andrew.
I'm not seeing Flo Andrew or Look at Jamie, so... Hopefully we're good on that front.
Do you remember the Look at Jamie me?
I do. If I had it, I'd put it up on stream right now, but unfortunately I do not.
If you had it, you'd put it on stream.
Yeah, I'd let the people see what Look at Jamie looked like.
Let me get you Look at Jamie.
Are we gonna do it just for this?
Yeah. Is that Look at Jamie? That's Look at Jamie. It looked like a rip-off of my me. It's on Skype, I think. Yeah. Look at Jamie. Have they started yet?
Nope, I'm still waiting on it.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're not missing out any vital seconds on what could be one of the most important races of the Mario Kart World Cup so far. You're literally searching for Shift 6A.
Where is it?
It's going to be really obvious. There you go, you've missed it.
There it is.
Why don't you guys have a look at Jamie?
Let's just have a look at Jamie quickly.
Let's have a look at Jamie. You tried to put it over the manual button.
Unfortunately, we cannot choose the look at Jamie transmission. However,
I'm sure we all want to look at Jamie in real life, though. I mean, let's totally... One day we will look at Jamie.
I have a dream.
I have a dream. I have a dream. I will look at Jamie.
One day. So it does appear to be standard character selection. Nordic appears to be doing a little bit of last-second strategizing because they're not sure what track they're going to pick. At least Barney isn't.
Barney needs to be a bit more sure.
His pick of DK's Jungle Parkway is not looking like as good as it was, but we are going to be seeing SNES Mario Circuit 3 from what looks like everybody except Claw.
Everybody except Claw.
Well, the race of destiny. Mario Circuit 3. I do believe this is the first time we've actually seen this track today, but people have been picking it every war.
They have, and
we are now in the colorful Lego sandbox of Mario Circuit 3 to see what magic either clan can end up pulling. Going to an early start. 5th place Red Shell is not going to be what he wants, but schlagging for now and maybe throwing it at Arceus. Oh, he hits him. Maybe he had shrooms? But now Nordic is holding a top 4, which doesn't seem like it's going to be able to last too long. Not on this track's mechanics. Triple shrooms is going to be extremely useful. Somehow Nordic is maintaining a top 3? Am I seeing this right?
I mean, if they can...
Another triple shrooms from Barney. The item look he actually needs. Kylan's TC does not look like it's going to be able to pass it off to anybody, but he is trying. Kane now back more with the pack. Let's see where these shrooms take him. Derek's Reds are so dangerously close.
They are, but they've not done enough. And from what we can
there
see,
it is. It gets
this
him.
These could be decent spots for Nordic, so long as Claw doesn't get outbagged.
Oh, there's the Mega, though. And it appears somebody has been stopped on the minimap. He gets the Mega Chain.
Come on.
Oh, he really wants it. He really wants it.
I'm so sure Nordic could get this.
In the completely legitimate Star Mega. USA is in so many of the top spots. Is that a 2-3-4 for USA?
Done. That's done. That's curtains.
And an unfortunate ending. Oh, they were holding top spots for so long. I think they may have still gotten first. But that is definitely 2-3-4 for Team USA.
The issue is you don't normally run MC3.
No, you don't. And I was surprised it was working for as long as it did.
Well, it didn't work in the end.
Oh.
And that's... You know, you said they had, what first?
I swore. Maybe.
Yeah, that's not the case. And 45, 48. That's going to be a 25 to 48 race. So that's unfortunate. But that's going to leave us at 464, 412.
But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Mario Kart World Cup Group Y match between Nordic and the United States. An unfortunately close ending. Well, not an unfortunately far ending for a very close war, but you are hopefully going to be seeing a little bit closer of a match, maybe in the Mario Kart 8 side. Canada versus France looks like it's going to be a pretty good war.
It should be, but one last comment I'd make is we've seen Nordic not do the best here, but what we've got to realise is when it comes to eliminations, they might end up not facing a team such as the USA until one of the later rounds. And they've proved here that they can do quite well. And given that it's double elimination, I think they could be one of the teams to potentially make it to at least the finals or the semi-finals.
Yeah, USA was actually seeded first, if I'm not mistaken, and Nordic was seeded fifth? Nordic was definitely third. Excuse me.
I think. And then
I'm not
UK
100% sure.
Fourth. UK seeded fourth, beating the number 2 seed team. Let's remember that.
I'm not sure the seedings are 100% perfect, but at the same time, Nordic definitely showing that they deserve their third place seed as they kept it close with America for most of that match.
I mean, if they could have held on at the final GP, which it looked so promising after the first race of the GP, but they just kind of threw it away.
Yeah, it just didn't end up turning out too well for them.
I think communication is something they can fix from what we saw. There were a few times where team rape happened, and honestly, if they'd have been fixed, it could have been a completely different story we were telling right now.
But all in all, a surprisingly close showing from both teams. A lot of people expected USA to take this completely away, but this did end up turning out to be a rather close war. Thank you for watching.
We have to hop off. Goodbye.
Enjoy Mario Kart 8.